and welcome back to another Facebook Live video here at Ixcela. My name is Rachel and I'm the registered dietitian for Ixcela. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Please feel free to drop any comments, suggestions, ideas, or even questions that you might have within the comment section below. If you're not able to tune in live, please continue to drop those comments and questions. We love to hear from you. So for today, we're going to be talking about breakfast. And while a typical breakfast typically or often includes a lot of carbohydrate or sugar-dense foods like cereal, some like toast, sweetened yogurt, even something called a nutrition bar, we're going to completely redefine breakfast today. And we're actually going to introduce something that we like to call a breakfast salad. I know what you're thinking, another dietitian telling me to eat more salads, but if you stay on board with me through this entire video, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the final product. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and start off with one of our first things we're going to add to our breakfast salad, and that is going to be a chicken sausage. So we're going to make 3 different salads today. One of them is going to be a summer variety, as I like to call it. It's going to include some berries and slivered almonds. The other 2 are going to be a little bit more savory. So what we've done is we've gotten this is actually a kale and cheese chicken sausage, and this is going to be added to 2 of our salads. So we have a recipe on our Ixcela website for 1 pan chicken sausage or turkey sausage, peppers and onions. So to make this dish, like in our last Facebook Live video, we talked about how great it is to have meals that are 1 pan, or maybe even 1 sheet pan. This is great, of course, because it's really easy and quick to prepare, doesn't create a lot of dishes. So to get started, we're going to start with one of our favorite recipes, peppers and onions with some sort of chicken or turkey sausage variety. So for this recipe, we're going to add about 1 tablespoon, 1 to 2 tablespoons, depending on how many onions and peppers you're going to add to the pan over medium heat. As you saw, I went ahead and chopped up the peppers. Now I'm going to spend some time chopping the onions. And you're going to notice today that every single recipe is going to include a lot of vegetables. And the breakfast salad movement, we really want to empower you to join it with us and to include vegetables with the first meal of the day. So of course, some of the most common ways to include vegetables with breakfast are to have a smoothie with maybe some spinach in it, or maybe even a vegetable omelet. But you're going to notice that these are going to include a lot more vegetables than maybe just a handful of spinach in your morning smoothie, or a small amount of broccoli and onions in your morning omelet. And the goal here is really to bump up the nutrients, add a lot of fiber and gut healthy fibers to really help the gut bacteria grow to the meal, and then also to help you find some ways to include more protein in your diet. You're going to notice that this beautiful bed of vegetables that you're creating is going to be a perfect foundation for a really protein-dense meal. Okay, so I turn down the heat a little bit because I don't want these to burn. We're going to cook down our peppers and onions a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our chicken sausage. There we go. So go ahead and let that cook. And as that cooks, we're going to talk about a few of the different component or meal ideas that you could put together for your breakfast salad. So of course, it's typically going to start with a bed of lettuce. You can switch up your variety of lettuce. Today we have just a really simple spring mix, but you could also use arugula or spinach, some romaine, maybe throw in some shredded cabbage. Really, it's up to you. That's the beauty of a breakfast salad, is that we're going to give you a few ideas, and then you can decide what you're going to include or exclude from the foundation of ingredients that we're going to give you or show you here today. Okay, so to get started, we're going to talk through the summer breakfast salad. And for this one, like I said, this is going to be one that is going to include berries. It's going to be a little bit on the lighter summery version. Berries are coming into season, which is really nice. And to showcase this salad, we're gonna show you a few different ways. Let me go ahead and shift the camera here so that you can see some of the different things that we're gonna add to this. So, for the summer salad, what we started with right here is our foundation, or the greens. We're adding at least 2 cups of greens to this bowl. That's to really help you meet your goal for your nutrients, to hit your low carb or your vegetable consumption. From there, we're gonna finish it off with a few more low carb options. What we've done here is we've created a variety of different things that you can add. So in this bowl, we have some carrots and peppers. For this salad in particular, we're gonna add a little bit more carrots for some color, as well as to get some more of that low carb option. A little bit of overflow here. So here we have our low carb. Next, we're gonna talk about the high carbs that you can add. So like I said, strawberries are gonna be an addition, but you could also do blueberries or raspberries. These are going to be your high carb option. So we're gonna go ahead and chop some strawberries for this. Just gonna add some more color as well as a nice sweetness to the salad. That was a pretty big strawberry, but we are really gonna load this up. The idea here is that often people struggle with, they eat their breakfast first thing in the morning, and then just 30 minutes later they're feeling hungry again. Well, this is the answer. You are going to add more of the good stuff. And what does that mean? So adding more of the good stuff is going to be anything that you can add to your diet that will contribute to your overall health. So of course, the things are going to be fruits and vegetables, some lean protein, and healthy fats. So here is our low carb and our high to moderate carb. And then finally, we're going to finish it off with some protein. We have hard-boiled eggs, and they're going to be added to each of our salads. If you are a vegan or even a vegetarian who prefers not to have eggs, that's okay. That is the beauty of a breakfast salad, is that you can truly make it your own. But for this summer salad, we're going to go ahead and add 2 hard-boiled eggs. Like so. You can smell our onions and peppers are coming along nicely. They smell so great. So here we go. We have our 2 hard-boiled eggs. And then finally, a little bit of healthy fat. For the healthy fat option today, we're going to add some almonds, and then we're going to even top it off with a little bit of dressing. The slivered almonds are great because unlike a whole almond or a whole seed, you're going to be able to get a little piece of almond in every single bite. That's a little secret to making a really successful salad, is adding things that you'll be able to get each component in every single bite. We're going to add a touch of this. And then finally, for me, just because I like to make things look really nice and pretty, we also have some poppy seeds here to add a little touch. Kind of a little crunch, but just add some nice color to the salad as well. And then finally, you might have your favorite dressing to top it with. You could even add some fresh herbs or basil. Today we have cilantro. And then finally, we're just gonna add a touch of dressing. This is an olive oil based dressing. You can find, there's a whole variety of olive oil based dressings in your grocery store, but this is the one that we're going with today. Just a nice light vinaigrette to top it off, and there you have it. So, as you can see, this is a lot of food, and that's exactly what we're going for. We want you to load up first thing in the morning with all the good stuff. The more that you can feed yourself and nourish your body, it'll maintain your blood sugar throughout the day. You're gonna notice that you're really full and that you feel satisfied without feeling weighed down from maybe a big bowl of oatmeal with added granola and sugar. Instead, you're gonna lighten it up. You're gonna add some lean protein and healthy fat, and I think that you'll be really satisfied with this meal. So consider this one, like I said, this is the summer salad. All right, so that's the really quick and easy one. Next, we're gonna go back to our savory option and add in our chicken sausage. Each one of these chicken sausages is about 4 ounces. This is really nice. It's gonna add a lot of extra protein. We're gonna go ahead and let these cook. And this is great because, like I said, adding protein to that first meal of the day, along with the vegetables, is a really great way to feel satisfied first thing and make it all the way to lunch without maybe going for a second cup of coffee or looking for an extra nutrition bar, candy bar to get you through until lunchtime. I think you'll find that this will fill you up and keep you satisfied for a majority of the morning. So as the chicken sausage cooks, we're going to go ahead and clean up a little bit here. And I want to start to showcase some of our next options here. So I'm going to go ahead. I decided to bring out to-go containers because just like anything, meal prep is key for this, okay? The more that you're able to get ahead and start your meal prep when you're preparing one salad or maybe one meal, the more easy it will be for the grab and go later in the week. So we're gonna go ahead and prepare the next two salads in to-go or Tupperware containers. I'm gonna go ahead and add some greens. Don't short yourself on the greens. I often see people make their salad and maybe they'll only add just a few pieces of lettuce. You really wanna bulk it up. Lettuce greens and just leafy greens in general are going to be among the most nutrient-dense additions to the diet. There we go, we're gonna load up our bowl here. You're gonna see that my bowls are overflowing as this meal comes together. I'm telling you, that's the goal. We really want to have a lot of bulk for that first meal of the day so that you feel great as the morning goes on. There we go. Okay. We're gonna need a few more minutes. Okay, next we're going to showcase how to put together your next salad. So this next one, I like to call it the classic salad. I just think that this one, the 3 or 4 ingredients that typically go in the classic salad are probably my favorite, but maybe you'll have a different favorite. So we're calling this one the classic, and this is going to start with the leafy greens. Then we're going to add in some sweet potato. The recipe calls for either a roasted high carb vegetable like a sweet potato, white potato. We even have a mixture here if you want to kind of try something new. This is going to be a roasted vegetables with beets, white potato, and sweet potato. Really good way to kind of add some color, some variation, nutrients, and even some variety of flavor. Maybe beets aren't something that you would typically include. This is a really good way to try them out. But for this classic salad, starting with our bed of greens, then we're going to add in some sweet potatoes. Probably adding about 3/4 of a cup of a sweet potato, so maybe about a quarter of a medium-sized potato. Then we're going to add in some avocado. This is our healthy fat. So far we have a low carb from the lettuce, a moderate to high carb from the sweet potato. Give me a moment here, we're gonna give our sausages a flip. Oh, these look so good. Okay, great, almost ready for those. But as they cook, like I said, avocado is going to be your healthy fat with this one. Go ahead and cut into this beautiful avocado. Once again, I think avocados are probably my favorite addition to the breakfast salad, so highly recommend. We're gonna add about 1/4 of an avocado. This one's a medium-sized one, but sometimes you can find a larger avocado or a smaller avocado. So stick to about either a 1/4 cup or maybe an 1/8 of a cup, depending on what your meal plan calls for. Go ahead and scoop this out. There we go. All right, oops. Added our avocado here. Now we're going to figure out how we can add some more low carb to this. So going back to this, we have some cut up peppers and carrots that we could add, but instead we're going to add a little bit more flavor and kind of switch it up. So I'm a big believer in adding cooked vegetables to your salads. Light, fresh vegetables are really nice in the summertime, but sometimes when you're looking for something a little bit more savory, you want to include your leafy greens, but you're kind of sick of the typical fresh raw salad, add some either roasted or cooked vegetables. You'll really like the way it tastes. So we are going to, instead of adding raw vegetables, we're going to add some cooked low-carb vegetables. We have some peppers and onions from our sausage peppers and onions one-pan meal. And then finally, we're going to add in our chicken sausage. We're going to switch our view here again so that you can see exactly what we're cooking, exactly what we have put together here. So this one is a protein powerhouse. We're going to finish it off with 2 eggs as well. Cut this in half just because it looks so nice when we cut it in half. Just like so. And then finally, it's up to you. If you wanted to exclude the avocado and add some more of that vinaigrette style dressing, you could add some Dijon mustard or even make a yogurt dressing, a Greek yogurt dressing, if you're trying to avoid adding more fat. But for me, the way that I like to add a little bit of extra seasoning and flavor is to actually add either some sesame seeds. This one has a little bit of garlic in it as well. And then we're gonna top it off with some of that cilantro that I showed you before, just to make this a full meal. So there you go, there you have it. This is the classic. So in this bowl we have our greens, the peppers and onions as the low carb, and then we have our healthy fat coming from the avocado and from the egg. Our protein sources are going to be the chicken sausage and the egg as well, and then finally rounding it out with some high carb from the sweet potato. So there's number 2. All right. And for our last, but definitely not least, breakfast salad we're going to finish off with here. This one's going to be a Greek style. So for the Greek style, we're going to take kind of a different approach to maybe something that you would have for breakfast, but you know, make these your own. Whatever flavors and different things you like to have, even for lunch or dinner, add them to breakfast instead of being so carb focused. So for the Greek, we're going to keep it pretty traditional, but also kind of give our own little flair as well. We're going to add some cucumber. If you like to peel your cucumber, that's okay. For me, a lot of the nutrients lie in the skin, so I like to keep it on there. I'm going to go ahead and chop this small. Similar to the almonds like we were talking about before, cut your vegetables small. Then you'll be able to get a little tiny bit of each vegetable in each bite. So our low carbs are going to be cucumber, and we're also going to add in some tomato. Stick with the Greek style here. Gonna add in about 4 or 5 tomatoes. Just gonna have them just to keep it easy. You can definitely cut these small as well if you prefer them small. You could quarter them or even slice them into little coins if you like. We're gonna switch it up here and we're actually gonna add some Kalamata olives. If you like olives, great. If olives aren't something that you prefer, I realize it's a very acquired taste. Instead, you could add some feta cheese, you could add some different Greek seasonings, you could do some oregano, some additional olive oil, whatever you prefer. I like the saltiness of an olive though, so I think this goes really well with the salad. So that's gonna be a little bit of our fat source. And then we're finally going to top it with hard-boiled egg. And we're gonna utilize that sausage that we started to make before. This one's probably about 25 to 30 grams of protein per serving. Just gonna add half a sausage to this one to finish this one off. And there you have it. So this one is, once again, a really good to go. I don't know about you, but I would be really excited to have this first thing in the morning and for it to be set and ready to go for me just to pull out of the fridge right when I wake up. Looks great. You could continue to add some different variety to this by maybe switching up your protein. This one actually doesn't include a high carb, so we're gonna shift the camera down just a little bit. I'm gonna show you some different more options for high carb. So here we have a grain that you could have on the side. This could be either a cereal or a granola that you really like. We also have the roasted vegetables that I showed earlier. Finally, we have some sprouted green toast, and there's nothing that says that you can't have a seeded cracker on the side of this meal as well to really finish it off and make it extra tasty. So there you have it. If you liked this recipe and you want to hear about more recipes and more things related to gut health, check out Ixcela.com, where you'll find a full program toolkit of all sorts of information related to gut health, and also the ability to buy your very own gut microbiome test kit.